Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I can't be there with you this year, but certainly watching the weather and hoping we have great weather conditions for the regatta this weekend. Um, this weather forecast is sponsored by Nauticon, and we appreciate their support this year. It's going to continue through the weekend, and I'll have updates for you each morning online. So make sure you're checking for those. Remember that the weather can change quickly there in the Great Lakes. It looks like the worst conditions, though, are going to happen actually this evening, and it looks like most of the weekend is going to be pretty decent with a lot of sunshine and warm but not too warm temperatures and dry conditions. And so it looks like good for being out on the water, although the wind may be a little bit light at times, but we'll hope for the best. Always have to check the severe weather forecast for Friday. It looks like the thunderstorms that we're going to have there this evening are going to be moved down to the south and out of the picture and not a problem. Now on Saturday there is a slight risk of some sort of general thunderstorms, nothing severe, but honestly I think that's overdone a bit, and I think it's more likely that any storms that do develop will be inland on some sort of a lake breeze front and not really threatening the lake area. I think things will be much calmer over the lake. The forecast for Sunday indicates that we are not expecting anything severe to happen, and even general weather should be pretty nice with high pressure overhead. So here's the weather map as of this afternoon, and we can see there's a cold front just to the north across central Michigan and into southeastern Wisconsin, and this is moving slowly to the southeast. There is some weather along that front. Ahead of it, we've got this southwest flow that we've had most of the afternoon, a bit gusty and puffy and shifty. Up to the north of that, though, the wind has shifted more in from the north, and looking at the buoys and observations up in the northern two-thirds of the lake, we are seeing that shift, and there is high pressure that is just over the Dakotas now, and that's actually going to be the main weather feature that we're going to be watching here in the forecast. That's going to move to the southeast and provide most of our driving for our weather over the weekend. As I said, we are getting a little bit of weather with that front. We can look at some of the conditions as they appear now. This is the latest 1-minute satellite loop, and we can see this is as of about 4:30 Central Time this afternoon. So this will be more developed and actually closer to Chicago by the time you see this. But you can see these storms blossoming at this time over southern Wisconsin and moving toward the to the east and southeast into northeastern Illinois. And in fact, if we look at the weather radar, we can see those cells moving across southern Wisconsin. Just in this area here, and some new cells now starting to develop over just north of Chicago. So those will be down into the area here this evening. But as I said, it looks like all that action should be clearing out by tomorrow morning. And here's the weather map forecast. In fact, for tomorrow morning, we see that cold front then down to the south across sort of northern Indiana and into central Illinois, with some shower activity around it at that time. And here's that high pressure area kind of moving into Wisconsin, kind of drifting slowly to the southeast. And so it looks like the gradient will be coming in more from the north tomorrow, and that should bring in some cooler weather. Not cold, but more seasonable temperatures for the day tomorrow, and also some drier conditions should hold. The weather map for midday or early afternoon tomorrow does show the front kind of stalling out for a little bit to the south there, and there will be some rain not too far away, but again I think it'll be clear of Chicago, not a concern for us, and still that high pressure ridge out to the or high pressure out to the west, and by evening that high is over the Wisconsin-Iowa border, and the front is moving further to the south. Now you'll notice there's no isobars across the Great Lakes, which indicates lighter winds. The further apart the isobars are, the lighter the wind will tend to be. If we go to zoom in on what the forecast is, we see a forecast of about 5 knots, 5 to 10 knots over the racing area, 10 o'clock tomorrow. And that actually gets a little bit lighter offshore during the early afternoon, but actually increases onshore. As the land heats up, it mixes through a deeper layer of the atmosphere, so it's going to bring down higher momentum air from aloft, but only over the land at this time. And we're trying to almost get like a sea breeze component or a lake breeze component going on the offshore side there. That's causing the wind to ease there a little bit. But that doesn't last. We see the gradient recover a little bit in the afternoon, all areas, and so we get a general increase up over 10 knots, perhaps in the low to mid-teens by tomorrow afternoon, but still holding generally from the northeast. Looking at the forecast detail, we see winds northeast pretty much all day, a little bit of oscillation in the direction, but nothing, no major shifts. Winds sort of 6 to 10 knots in the morning, easing off a little bit, down a knot or two, probably on average midday, and then here's that increase I mentioned as the gradient builds a little bit in the afternoon. So all in all, not a bad day. Best breeze will be later in the afternoon. Will be a little bit light and patchy there through the midday period. For Saturday, we've got the high pressure still in control, so the weather still looks fine. Most of the rain moved out to the east and southeast by this time, and by Saturday evening we see the high is moving into northern Illinois, keeping our gradient quite light. And the main driving force by Saturday afternoon is probably going to be thermal with the breeze. So here's the forecast Saturday morning. We see basically a northerly flow along the shore. It looks like it's kicked a little bit to the right along the shoreline, which is just right here, and so it's kicked a little bit in as that thermal starts to develop and pull in. A little bit of accelerated flow in the morning right across the course area, but I don't think that holds. It looks like as we go into the afternoon, we start to get that thermal lake breeze developing. Wind shifts more and more to the right, especially on the inshore side, so more right shifted breeze inshore, left shifted breeze, and lighter on the offshore side of the course area. A little bit better breeze holds down in the south course area than it does in the north. And then by evening, we see that effect even more pronounced with the lake breeze still trying to pull the breeze right, but we have divergence offshore, and that causes the wind to basically die from north to south on the offshore side late in the afternoon. So looking at the forecast detail, we see basically best breeze is going to be in the morning on Saturday, and then just sort of a general downtrend in the pressure through the afternoon. Wind more left shifted northerly in the morning, trending more to the right as the day goes on, as that lake breeze effect comes in. So sort of a dying and veering breeze Saturday afternoon. By Sunday, the high pressure still in control, still very few isobars across us, so still pretty light winds. It actually looks like the wind will try and come in more from the west and southwest as sort of a drainage type of flow on Sunday, but very, very light in the morning. And then it'll actually start to go to lake breeze. And in fact, I think this model is a little bit underdone for early afternoon on Sunday. I think we will actually be seeing some kind of a southeast breeze develop slowly, not strong, but a slow builder on Sunday. And then by afternoon it should be coming in from the southeast and then gradually building, and we see a little bit of that effect on the forecast detail here. I've got the wind basically from the southwest through the morning, going through a light patch around midday and shifting from the southwest to the southeast as a lake breeze, and building perhaps up to 10 knots in the afternoon. So as you can see, no strong winds expected for the week, but it does look like really good weather for the weekend, so it should be a great time of racing out there. Remember, I'll be updating the forecast every morning online, so make sure you're checking in for that to get the latest weather information. Thanks.